Okay.
Welcome to this installment of Creative Cabin Fever. It would be an absolute shame for me as a mom to not give my kid the chances that I have, since, I like to interview my heroes. So Keanu reached out to me and said he would really like to interview one of his heroes. Keanu, who's that?
Freddy?
And what band is Freddy in?
What?
The Back Road?
Smokers.
That's
Hello,
correct.
Keanu. I'm looking very forward to this interview. I'm sure you have loads of good questions for me
Do you have good questions for Freddy?
for the interview. I like the Wu-Tang t-shirt as well, Wu-Tang Clan. Wu-Tang is for the children.
Wu-Tang Clan one.
Wu-Tang Killer Bees, we had a swarm.
What did the Wu-Tang Clan sing, Keanu?
No swearing, Freddy.
Oh,
Because Keanu doesn't sing. Wait, Keanu, Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to.
Fuck with.
oh my. Are we allowed to swear on this podcast, are we?
We're allowed to swear on this podcast, and it's
Cool,
also
cool.
okay for my kid to swear when there is actually hip hop involved.
Yeah,
because
when you're
I think
spitting the lyrics,
censoring
yeah,
children is
yeah.
shit. Like,
That was a big problem for my mother because we grew up in the Eminem era. You know?
Fuck with.
Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to.
Fuck with.
Yeah,
Wu-Tang
yeah,
Clan
yeah.
the fuck.
That there you are.
Wu-Tang-
Bomb atomically, Socrates' philosophies and hypotheses can't depend on be dropping these mockeries. I have a
Yes.
few Wu-Tang verses up my sleeve, Keanu. I've
So your
spent a lot
mom-
of time listening.
Your mom would have had kind of problems with. This is going to be chaos, but we're
It
going to
was-
run through it anyway.
Come on now, Keanu, are you asking me questions now, or are you going to have Rebecca asking me all the questions?
It's kind of my job, like. Okay, so fancy dancing.
Hey, we can see yourselves.
We
You
can
can
see
see.
ourselves.
Yeah, I can see myself as well.
So what was your first question for Freddy that you prepared yesterday? What's your favorite Pokemon?
What's your favorite Pokemon, Freddy?
My favorite Pokemon. That's not an easy question. There's a couple of favorites, right? I mean, I'll give you a couple of favorites, and then maybe I'll say, okay, probably this one, right? I love Onyx. Onyx is pretty badass, right? Onyx, Gyarados, yeah. Charizard. I like Charizard. Charizard is pretty good.
Pikachu and Raichu.
Raichu, Pikachu, yeah, absolutely, yeah,
When Pikachu grows up.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. The electric Pokemons.
So do you want to ask him the next question?
So yeah, they
What's
would
the
be.
next question? What's your favorite color?
My favorite color is purple, right? And my keyboard player, Killian Brown, knowledgeable man, right? Killian has a mind of information, and I had all of these clothes that were like a cream color, and I'm one of these people like cream.
Favorite?
He's telling you the answer. Just be patient.
So my favorite color is
What's your
purple.
favorite dinosaur king?
My favorite dinosaur is a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Absolutely.
Like dinosaur
Tyrannosaurus-
king.
A dinosaur king. I think Tyrannosaurus Rexes are the dinosaur kings, Keanu, really. And you could be called Keanusaurus Rex.
But Killian Brown is a amount of information, and he was
Yeah.
stopping you from wearing cream and told you to wear
No,
more
he
purple.
didn't stop me. He didn't stop me from wearing cream, right? So I dyed my cream. I had a cream weird fish hoodie that was covered in stains. I had a pair of pants because I'm a yoga teacher. I bought cream pants and pennies, or kind of a grayish color. The interviewer is. There's some housekeeping issues in the interview house. But
I can hear you,
can
Freddy.
you hear me better? Can you? He couldn't hear me properly. That's fair enough. But basically, I dyed my clothes purple, and Killian said, "Yeah, do you know why purple was the color of royalty?" And I was like, "No, I don't." And he goes, "Because it's the hardest color to make. It is the hardest color to dye something. So
I can hear you
only royal
loud
people
and clear.
had purple you know. So it's good energy from the purple color. I spent all my teenage years wearing black, you know what I mean, wearing Slipknot t-shirts and things like that. So it's good to wear a few colors. I have, you know, yellow. I wear a lot of yellow now. You know, it's good for you not to be wearing only black, which was exclusively my fashion from the age of 12 to maybe 17 or 18. Just wore black. Are you doing a dentistry examination, young man?
Look at your teeth. Hey, this one looks bad.
Yeah. The honesty of children is amazing. It's amazing. This is a great interview.
I can't see you.
Thank
That's
you.
fine.
I didn't know that about my tooth.
Keanu, the next question is, come here.
I need quiet.
You need quiet. Well, then I'll just ask it for him.
You asked me the question. You asked me the question. What's the question?
What's the question? Freddie wants to know from you. What's it like to be in a band?
What's it like to be in band?
What's it like to be in a band? It's like a lot of things, you know. It's amazing, right? I love it. You know, it's all I've ever wanted to do since I'm a kid. Like, you know, my mother would have really pushed me, my brother and my sister to always have something, to have a passion, to have something. So she pushed us to do everything: play sports, play music. And then obviously my dad is really involved with the Waterford music scene, has been involved with music for years. So he was a big influence from the musical side, but she just pushed us to do everything and just like do something. You don't want to be defined by your job. You need something outside of your job to carry you through life. You know what I mean? We all need a passion that carries us through life. And, you know, me and the house I grew up in, it was music, you know? So to be able to now be in a band and play to people and have people like genuinely come up and say, I fucking love your music. And it's just like, it's crazy. That lifts my heart every time. It's like, wow, these people that I don't know. And it's like, you know, I always take time for them and chat to them. It's like, these people I don't know are coming up telling me things about, oh my God, I had this fella grabbing me. I had a party at my house on Saturday night, and this guy, so the band we played in my mother's house. And this guy that I know years, and he had never seen the band before, and he grabbed me. He was like, what? Why have I not seen you before? You are a genius. And I was like, stop. I said, if you don't stop licking my arse, I'm going to send you home in a taxi quickly, because I can't be listening to this. And he just grabbed me. He goes, no, you have to know this. And it's like, it was almost an assault. And I was like, Jesus Christ, man. You know what I mean? Jesus. And it's like, I feel that in my heart. It's like, this is crazy. Like, here I am just, I don't know. I was always loud, you know what I mean? I spent my teenage years being told to shut up by people, you know what I mean? I was always loud, you know? Maybe you can identify, maybe. Maybe you've heard that yourself, you know what I mean? But, you know, quiet one. Like the young fella behind you as well, you know what I mean? You're going to be, nobody will notice him, just, yeah. So to be able to just like unleash myself on a stage, and rather than have people telling me to shut up, I have people celebrating me just doing what I love doing. It's like, yep, I'll keep doing it. If you're going to keep celebrating it, I'll keep doing this. As long as you're clapping me on, I'll be up there throwing all kinds of shapes. But that's what it's like to be in a band. For me, like it's anybody who is following their dream. It makes you whole. It makes you full. You are doing what you, and like people often get this whole ego thing. It's like, oh, this fella loves being up on the stage and loves the glory. And it's like, it's not. Do you know what I mean? It's fantastic that people appreciate or like the music that we play. But even if the band was useless, I still love jumping around like a clown on the stage. I love shouting and roaring on a stage. You know, before this, I suppose the last band I was in before this was a metal band called Relig. We were a thrash metal band, and that was a whole lot of fun. But it goes, like you might even hear it in some of my vocal style that it could translate to thrash metal. It's like, you know, but yeah, being in a band, it's amazing, and I love it. And I will never stop playing music. Never. Like, does not compute, cannot happen. You know what I mean? It's not possible. And I've recently, actually started learning the guitar. Our drummer, Connor Walsh, is actually studying jazz in the college. Like, Killian Brown is a jazz musician. He's a classical musician. So like, you know, up to this point, I have basic 3-chord trick knowledge on the guitar. I can bust out a few Bob Dylan tunes, but the lads I play with, they play at the top level. I'm lucky enough to be born with a voice and the confidence to jump around the stage like a lunatic, whereas the lads have spent years honing a craft and they are masters of what they do, like, you know, and I'm honored to stand in front of those men, you know what I mean? And then also then to have our 3 singers and the 3 brass who are like the bonus members of the band, and it's like such an honor to play with people who play at that level. It's like, this is the top level of musician. Some fella who just literally, I'm a fella with a good voice. There's a million people with good voices. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Like, anyone could have a good voice. I'm backed by people who are actually like really talented at things that they've put hours into. I spent my teenage years gowling. I gave up the guitar, became useless at it. I suppose I started shouting and roaring in a metal band when I was about 16 and 17. That's all I did. You know, and all I have to do is jump around. And people are like, this fella's mental. That's brilliant to look at. You know what I mean? So I got lucky. You know what I mean? I got lucky. Being in a band is the greatest thing ever for me.
And you're an incredible frontman. Like, the energy off you is incredible, but you're absolutely right. The rest of them are really the true talent because they actually hone it. So I'm delighted. I'm delighted to hear you're actually getting better at guitar while I'm being attacked by a child, because that was always one of my things.
I know major 7 chords. I know all kinds of sexy jazz chords now, and I've started writing my own music. Like, I've always instructed the lads. So like, me and Killian have a song coming out on the album. It's a brand new song that nobody's heard, and it's just me and Killian have written this. And I wrote the melody for a chorus, you know. And Killian was like, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And I was like, why not? It's a catchy hook. And he told us for about a month that it wasn't going to work. And he's like, no, it has to be this. And we were like, Killian, what doesn't work about it? And he goes, the chord progression is just too boring. Like, it's just, we're like, Killian, it doesn't matter how boring the chord progression is. It sounds good. But he's like, you can't be playing that. Like, you can't be playing that. It's so funny. But like, so I've kind of like, I have had influence in how the melody of songs go, but not through actually writing it myself, you know? But now that I'm able to play guitar and I can write riffs, I've become not only a lyric writer for the band, but also been able to songwrite. And that's kind of like, it's like, oh my God, like, why haven't I been doing this for years? Like, what was I doing? Spent many wasted years, but look, better late than never. You know what I mean? You have to get back on and wake up and just do what you're supposed to be doing, you know? So what about this, man? Does he have any more questions?
I've discovered the mute button is very handy for when you're talking. And we're currently having a pillow fight, obviously, in the background, which is awesome. Do you know what I mean? This always reminds me of that poor dad on the BBC and how he couldn't cope. And every time this happens to me, because this happens to me the whole time, he like pops in on interviews, I just keep my cool and it works out really well for me. But it's mad how a dad and a mom are able to approach it differently. Like, it's been tough working with him. You know what I mean?
I'm a dad. All right then. Quiet down there now. You know what I mean? Yeah, no, you have to. But like, you know, that's good. Bring it from the heart. He's not doing any harm. He's having the crack. Why would you give it? You know what I mean? Oh, it's the baby. He's freaky. He's terrifying, Keanu. Where did you get him out of? Is that your baby?
He went in the belly of my mom.
Oh, he's one of yours, Rebecca. Is that Keanu's little brother?
This is actually a Halloween decoration, Freddy. Chip,
that's your little brother.
Keanu's little baby brother.
You have to give him, you have to chant a few mantras over him now. It's a bit of an weird vibe coming off him.
We'll get him to Omni Mashivaya the hell out of it with some sage later, yeah?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Keanu,
the next question, come ask it.
My agent told me that I had bagged a serious interview with an up-and-coming young man now. I was wondering, what questions you got for me?
Be in my band.
Will you be in my band?
Will I be in your band? Jeez. Should I do, what role would I have in the band then? You know what I mean? Well, hey, it's a good thing actually. I'm learning the guitar because look, anyone knows this young man. My presence as a front man would be under serious threat if I was sharing a stage with that fella. You know what I mean?
He wants to be a singing drummer, and he also wants to be the third drummer in Thumper.
Yeah, well, that's me. That's me out the window. I can play guitar though, Keanu. I know some cool jazz chords. Connor Walsh is teaching me. Connor Walsh, the drummer, is teaching me nice chords on the guitar. Don't worry. I can be the guitar player in your band. You'll be the front man and the drummer. Cool. We'll play all ages gigs. We need to bring back the all ages gigs to Waterford as well, actually. You know, they've gone.
You talk
You know.
too much. Blah, blah, blah.
Too much blah, blah, blah. This is the interview.
He says you just talk too much. Look.
Yeah. He wants cold cut answers. One word. Will you be in a band? Yes or no? Yes, I will. I will be in your band. Next question. Let's go.
Okay, next question. Let's go. And it's the last one. Keanu, come here and ask this question and we let Freddy go back to his life. Come on.
No, I want to talk to you.
You want to talk to him? Then ask him the question.
Last question.
The last question is, tell us about your new song.
Tell us about your new song.
Oh, a new song. Right. Well, that could actually mean, do you want a cut and dry answer or do you want my big long explanation?
He is 4 years old, Freddy Quinlan.
Yeah. Oh, well, you see, no, the thing is, I'm also giving him an answer, but also giving the people watching the interview an answer as well, because we have a few new songs coming. You know what I mean? There's a new song that I have written on guitar, which is the very first song I have written. I've written a few songs for myself, and then written this song, and I think I want the band to play it. I'll show it to them and see what they think. I'm in the middle of writing it at the minute. We have done one of those Zoom cover things. So we have the 11-piece Backroad Smokers Club. We've done a garage recording out in Connor Walsh's shed. It is being mixed and mastered at the moment and should be up next week. We did a little a Gowlin video of Bombaleo by the Gypsy Kings to kind of create a bit of hype for the last single we launched. So we've done a cover of a cool funk song, and we haven't really took the piss this time. We've actually done a proper cover and done it properly, you know, rather than us acting the maggot. I don't know if you saw the video. Connor Walsh was playing a D-Waltz drill. Ches was playing a tin of chickpeas, things like that. So we've taken it a little bit more seriously. So there's a good cover, and I actually do my first hip-hop verse in it. So I've made my debut as a hip-hop artist on this track coming out. And then it's all to push for Get Out of Your Head, which is not a new song. It's an old Backroad Smokers Club song that we wrote. Myself, Ches, and Cal McGrath wrote this song 5 years ago. But on the second EP that we recorded, it never got the love it deserved as far as we were concerned. But we rewrote the song. And the 11-piece, it's like the album with the 5 of us, we're happy with. It's like, that's a good album. But it's like, you put those 3 girls on, and it's just like, the choir of angels from the heavens are singing, rising this up. It's like, oh my God, they are unbelievable. When the 3 girls, Kathy, Hannah, and Cleana, sing together in harmony, it is magic. It's just, like you listen to it, it's like you don't know what to do. It's so beautiful. And then the 3 lads, the brass players, are top players. Stephen Mackey, Ed O'Neill, and Brendan Long. It's fairly gas that my dad's uncle is he's the head of Waterford City Brass. So he would have taught a lot of people the brass, their first thing. And I was telling him, oh, sure, I have Brendan Long and blah, blah, blah. All the lads are playing, blah, blah, blah. The lads, Ed O'Neill, Brendan Long, and Steve Mackey are playing on the album. And he goes, huh, what are real musicians going doing, playing with a crowd like ye, huh? How'd you manage them? How much money did you have to pay those lads, huh? And it turns out he gave Brendan Long his first lesson on the slide trombone. You know what I mean? That's mad shit. But this is Waterford music scene. You know what I mean? everybody, people from all sorts of different bands. Like, Killian Brown, Carl Kerwin, myself, Hannah, Kathy Kane, we're all involved in different projects and bands within Waterford. Cover bands, wedding bands, club nights, different original bands. We have the Kalimbas. Killian plays with Toucan. Killian plays with the Cal McGrath and the Celestial Connection, I believe is Cal's band's name. Now, yeah, Cal Pacino and the Celestial Connection, but I think he's actually just cut it to the Celestial Connection. I'm looking really forward to hearing the lad stuff because, like, as I know from playing in a band with Cal for 5 years, that man knows how to write songs. That man knows how to write songs. He does it well. So I'm looking very forward to hearing their stuff as well. Exciting stuff coming out of Waterford right now. Very exciting.
There is. I'm really excited for that, but I just wanted to go back on, like, I was lucky enough to see you as an 11 piece in the Theatre Royal, and I have to say it does bring it to a completely different, I know, I can see the Easter egg.
I have to give a shout out to Leo Murphy Framing. I told Leo that I posted up on Facebook to give him advertising. I got two pieces, my first ever pictures. I got this amazing art as well from an artist called Katrina Rupert. You might recognize the style from the streets of Waterford in Waterford Walls. And as soon as I saw her artwork, I was like, yeah, there's magic in that shit. I want it. Give it to me now. So she put a sale on her Instagram page, and I was like, oh, COVID, I have no gigs. Oh, I'm out of work as a yoga teacher. Oh, and I was like, nah, it doesn't matter. I'm buying this. I don't give a shit. I'm buying this. So I went and got the two of those framed. I'd had that giant Backroad Smokers Club poster sitting in my house for a long time. And it just had to be framed, and with the flower of life in the center as well, giving out the old good vibes to the people,
That's amazing. She's actually one of my favorite Waterford Walls artists as well.
Yeah, top stuff.
It broke my heart when they broke down that shed, like.
Yes. The shed had to go. Sickner that her art was on it, and also one of her other pieces was painted over as well. And I know, look, that's the nature of street art. It gets painted over. It was like, oh, such good vibrations off that piece of art. Why did you cover it? High frequency stuff. It's like, you need that on the wall. This town is moving a lot of stagnant stuff around over the last 10 years since the recession came and people were jobless and the town was depressed, and we're rising it back up. People are working hard in this town to bring it back to its former glory, People like to talk the town down, Oh, I'm going somewhere else. This place sucks. It's like, what about you? What about it? Come on. You know what I mean? I'll always love this town. There's nothing I can do. I'll always love this place,
I'm kind of bound to it, so I don't really get a choice.
I'm the same. I don't have a choice. My both families on both sides, back to my grandparents, they're all Waterford people. You know what I mean? I cannot. Oh, I'm going somewhere else. But like, lucky for me, the band is based here. The band works here. Everybody, we have music teachers, we have cover band people. Everybody is quite happily anchored here. You know what I mean? And that's cool. Because you hear of a lot of the bands in the older generations, like Gorbachev and Ilya K, they all had to move away to make it up. You know what I mean? Like Gorbachev moved to Liverpool, Ilya K moved to Cork, O Emperor moved to Cork, because the Waterford scene is not big enough. There's not enough people here. And there's always the thing of the Waterford lobster. They see you climbing out of the cage and they want to grab you back down. And that has been a serious problem for the Waterford music scene. But I think you might see it, that these younger bands and this new generation, well, like, Killian plays in Toucan, Connor plays in the Clemens. Everybody is interrelated. We had Alex Goff play with us at All Together now last year. Dwyer, our old drummer, plays with Chrome Yellow. I had me and Sean Kavanagh, who was the ex-drummer of Chrome Yellow. We were skating in the skate park last week. You know what I mean? We're all interconnected and we are all cool with each other. There's not this like rivalry, It's cool to see. And then Mike and Jer have 7 Levels coming out. That new 7 Levels track, I heard that on Open Tempo. Oh my God. We were listening. It's like Irish vibe. It's like the evolution of Thin Lizzy. It's like heavy but Irish and hard drive. The concept of it's just it's Jar's finest work. It's Jar's finest work, and I love Can't Stop Rewind. I love that Chimpanzee album, but this is Seven Levels is a very exciting project coming out of Waterford, because we have not had, like, we have us, Chrome Yellow, Toucan, blah, blah. I could name everyone, you know, Alex Goff. It's all more chilled. We have no da 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 da, you know, and we did have a deadly metal scene here. But the lads are like heavy rocking stuff, and Waterford has not had that expression of bam, 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 you know, and we needed that. Look at this, it's a vampire. Oh my God.
Yeah, he's decided he needs 2 lollipops in order to continue the interview. So I've just given in, you know. Sorry, what?
Oh, you ask me a question with that. Ask me a question with the lollies in your mouth. Do you have any more bonus questions?
No. What's the bonus question?
I'm sure he'd say something gas off the fly. Any questions?
Question.
Gas.
What's the bonus question?
Gas.
Gas. That's just because he said the word gas. You see, this is the problem. Like, children are just wild. Like, this was really, really fun. I actually think we managed quite well, considering.
I think so. What do you think, Keanu? Do you have any more questions that you'd like to ask me?
I don't know.
Okay.
Does Freddy have any questions he'd like to ask Keanu?
I don't know what question I need.
What instrument are you learning? What instrument do you want to play?
Freddy.
What instrument are you learning to play, Freddy asked?
Singing and guitars and drums.
Singing, guitars, and drums.
Multi-instrumentalist. That is the way of the future, young man. Everybody, the top musicians now are all multi-instrumentalists. There's none of this one instrument thing. You know what I mean? That's the way music is going.
We have a drum, and we have a steel tongue drum as well, and I have real drumsticks, and he does percussion games all around the house with anything he can find.
Percussion games, yes.
We were in the bandstand yesterday, and I was teaching him about the different areas you can go in to get different acoustic sounds. So he was learning how to throw his voice around and stuff like that. It's really cool to discover that with him, you know?
Amazing. What about... Who's your favorite band at the moment, Keanu? Who's your favorite band?
Who's your favorite band? Who's your favorite band?
I don't know what's his name.
Thumper?
Nope.
It's not Thumper. Is it Amel and the Sniffers?
No.
Is it the Chats?
No.
What did the Chats sing?
Leave me alone and Smarties.
Leave me alone, I'm on Smarties.
Leave me alone, I'm on Smarties.
What else did they sing about? What did they sing about? Pub?
Pub
feed. Yeah, the clap as well. That's the new one.
There's no fear of Keanu anyway with the musical knowledge, like, you know.
No, it's pretty... Leave me alone, I'm on Smarties.
Pub feed this time. Leave me alone, I'm on pub feed. He's doing a mashup.
There's plenty of people who have said, leave me alone, I'm on a pub feed. You know, there's plenty of people who have said that. That could be your homage to the Chats, Keanu, you know what I mean? And you know, seeing as you're starting so young, you bang out an old Chats number, you know.
I have a funny feeling Keanu's going to be in a Chimpanzee cover band when he's older, because he keeps calling them Snake Band. And he kekeps asking
Snake Band.
And I think he's going to call his cover band Snake Band.
Snake Band.
Snake Band is mine.
Because he has Snake Song as well for Chimpanzee. Like, he renames songs to whatever, like, plugs his, like...
Snakes is a brilliant tune.
Yeah, it is.
One of my favorites, that album is Systems Failed. Systems Failed is just, that album didn't get enough recognition. It didn't get enough. But, you know, it comes from, you know, obviously it comes from a place of the lads had been inactive for 10 years and they weren't on the scene and then released the album without the hype and the gigs and stuff like that. But the strength of the album should have carried through. But look, some of the best songs ever recorded, or some of the best songs, this is my 2 cents. Some of the best songs ever written have never been recorded. You know what I mean? some of the best musicians I know are lads who stay in their bedroom and don't play out. You know what I mean? They don't want to play for anyone else. They just play at home, you know. And then you have lads like myself who just love the glory of it all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I look in lockdown, I think a lot of people have been rediscovering music for the first time. That's what I'm calling it. Like, I'm going back down the path of past, but I'm actually hearing the songs for the first time because I'm able to immerse myself fully.
Yeah, we're not running.
Yeah. There's still a chance that Chimpanzee album is going to be as big as I tried to push it to be, okay?
Yeah. You done all you could. You done all you could. But sure, you weren't their manager when that album was released. So
No.
you know, it wasn't on you. It was on, you know what I mean? But still, you know, the album is a class album. Anybody listening who hasn't heard the Chimpanzee album, it is well worth a listen. It is well worth a listen. And Systems Failed is top pick for me. What's this?
Hold on to my finger.
What?
You need to stop reminding Freddy that he rolled over your finger.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my friend Billy built a skateboarding ramp, and as I was on the ramp, I'm going to explain myself, you know what I mean? I'm going to explain myself. Freddy rolled over this child's finger. So I was skating on the ramp, and Keanu decided it looked like a fun slide. So as I was coming down backside, Keanu had slid down the ramp, and I rolled over his finger. But he was pretty brave about it. He was pretty, weren't you, Keanu? You were brave.
He's a badass like his mom, like.
Over my finger, and then that was kind of it. There wasn't too much. You still remember it though, over the baby finger. Yeah, no, never good to hit a child on your skateboard. Never good. Never a good feeling. He's hung me out to dry now in front of you. It's like,
and everyone knows about the finger, Freddy. This is what you get when you agree to an interview with a toddler.
Hey, he's 4 years of age now. He's no longer a toddler.
Why did you say that? Why are you so evil? What's
4
wrong
years,
with you?
4 years of age. 4 years of age. Big boy. Big boy. Up the tree. Well, that's my
Why did you?
Oh, he's gonna grow up. He's gonna grow up faster.
Mean to my mom.
Oh.
He'll be playing gigs before you know it.
He's not your friend anymore.
Oh.
Huh?
Oh. First question, why were you mean to my mom? And why are you and my mom not friends anymore?
We're working on it, Keanu. Is this gonna stay in the interview, is it?
I don't know.
Yeah, look, we had some adult disagreements. I was being very silly, Keanu, and I would love.
Funny.
That's funny. There we are.
I'm glad you find it funny, Keanu. I'm glad you find it funny.
The thing is, I think, yeah, we're trying really hard to have a break of bread and an olive branch between myself and Freddy, and that anything that happened that any of us observed, including the toddler who just asked the question, is something we're working on super hard. And I guess that's all we really need to say to anyone.
We are forming an alliance for the better of ourselves, the Waterford music scene, music as a whole, and between us, and obviously for this young man here as well, because obviously that would upset him too. So
yeah, I'm going to stop recording now in case he says anything else manic. It's been lovely.
It's been real.